but in the NFL in general, in the whole?
I think really everything you just said. Like, we got to solidify that quarterback position, see who that number one guy's going to be. I know we're going to have some guys coming back competing. So once we solidify that, we need receivers off. You know, I'm going heavy off. O-line receivers. I'm going heavy offense and bringing guys in to make us better.
What if the guy Cleveland just drafted to save their franchise is already being set up to fail? Not by the coaching staff, not by the front office, but by the men in that locker room. Denzel Ward just sat down with Unc on Nightcap, and what he said about the Browns' quarterback situation in 2026 should terrify every single Cleveland fan watching right now. Stay with me, because this goes deeper than football. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we break down the stories that actually matter in the NFL, not the surface level stuff, the real stuff underneath. Today we are talking Cleveland Browns, we are talking Shedeur Sanders, and we are talking about a conversation between Unc and Denzel Ward that most people heard, but very few people actually listened to. Because between the laughs, between the jokes, between the glaze session on Denzel's coverage skills, there was a message, a quiet, uncomfortable, unmistakable message about what is really happening in Cleveland heading into 2026. Let's get into it.
Cleveland sometimes gets a bad rap, and I want to give you a chance today to tell people something they don't know about Cleveland, some positives. You know, you got to give Cleveland some love. We're going to give Cleveland a little love.
Right. You know, hey, LeBron from Cleveland, so that's all you got to say. LeBron from Cleveland, so that's all you need to know. But the Browns, man, we about to pick it back up this season, hopefully make the playoffs, and we trying to win some games and bring some winning back to the city.
I believe that. Shedeur Sanders was named to the Pro Bowl this year. That was a little different. They said y'all had two Pro Bowl quarterbacks in Flacco and Shedeur. So, but talk about him and the growth that you've seen from him. Obviously, as a corner, you see it up close and personal. We understand these quarterbacks. We understand what they're seeing and the way they kind of try to diagnose and dissect these defenses. Did you see the growth that you expected from him this season?
Yeah, it's been well. I mean, like I said, he is just a rookie. He got all the confidence in the world. I think you need that at the quarterback position, and I think he's going to continue to develop and grow into a great player. And he did well. He made some mistakes, but I mean that's expected for a rookie. But just his growth and his willingness to want to learn and get better, I think is going to go a long way for him.
Did you ever find yourself having conversations with him? You know, I think they're usually quarterbacks and corners. Sometimes quarterbacks and receivers and corners have those conversations. What did you see here? Especially great players like yourself. Did you find yourself going up to him and like, hey, I saw you do this. I saw you giving away this tail. Or are you trying to let him learn the hard way?
Yeah, I'm really letting him learn the hard way. You know, I definitely stay in his ear though, but the mostly conversation is just trash talk. Like, you know, I'm about to pick you up all day in practice today, and you know, it's mostly just a trash talk. But I definitely try to stay in his ear, and you know, I'm always here for him whenever he needs some advice about something, or if I got a question, you know, I go ask him and see what he's saying.
Another unbelievable season. But at some point in time, you're going to get tired of having these unbelievable seasons individually and want to have an unbelievable season team-wise. Obviously, you're new coach coming in. You're probably going to have a new DC.
Don't tell me that.
Well, considering that some of the things that Todd said about, it ain't looking good. I'm just saying from the outside, it ain't looking good. What do you guys need to do to make sure, like, Miles is going to win Defensive Player of the Year unanimously? You are a top 2-3 corner. So the individual success that you've enjoyed and that Miles have enjoyed, but at some point in time, you play a team sport. This ain't golf, this ain't tennis. And so the individuality is fine and good. And we'll talk about that once come time to Hall of Fame. But right now, I want to have some team success. I'm tired of getting my eyes beat in.
First, let's understand where the Browns are right now. This franchise has been a disaster on offense for years. We all know it. Denzel Ward knows it. Unc knows it. The whole NFL knows it. They brought in a new head coach, time on, offensive-minded, fresh energy, new system. They let go of pieces that weren't working, and then in the draft, they selected Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback with a famous father, a quarterback with a massive social media following, a quarterback who walked into the NFL with more eyes on him than almost any prospect in recent memory. Cleveland fans were divided from day one. Some people were excited, some people were skeptical, and some people, the ones paying close attention, were worried. Not about Shedeur's arm, not about his football IQ, but about whether this organization actually believes in him. And then, Denzel Ward sat down on Nightcap. Now listen carefully, because Denzel Ward never said anything negative about Shedeur Sanders directly. He's a professional. He's smart. He chose his words carefully. But here's what he did say. When Unc asked him straight up, what does Cleveland need to fix, Denzel's answer was clear. He said, and I quote, "We gotta solidify that quarterback position. See who that number one guy's gonna be. I know we going to have some guys coming back competing." Read that again. See who that number one guy's going to be. Guys coming back competing. Shedeur Sanders was drafted to be the guy, the franchise quarterback, the face of this rebuild. But Denzel Ward, one of the longest tenured, most respected players on that roster, is sitting on national media saying the quarterback position still needs to be solidified, still needs competition, still needs to be figured out.
That Shedeur Sanders was named to the Pro Bowl this year. That was a little different. They said y'all had two Pro Bowl quarterbacks in Flacco and Shedeur. But talk about him and the growth that you've seen from him. Obviously, as a corner, you see it up close and personal. We understand these quarterbacks. Did you see the growth that you expected from him this season?
Yeah, it's been well. I mean, like I said, he is just a rookie. He got all the confidence in the world. I think you need that at the quarterback position. I think he's going to continue to develop and grow into a great player. He made some mistakes, but I mean, that's expected for a rookie. But just his growth and his willingness to want to learn and get better, I think is going to go a long way for him.
Did you ever find yourself having conversations with him, going up to him and like, hey, I saw you do this, I saw you giving away this tail, or are you trying to let him learn the hard way?
Yeah, I'm really letting him learn the hard way. You know, I definitely stay in his ear, though, but the most of the conversation is just trash talk. Like, you know, I'm about to pick you up all day in practice today, and you know, it's mostly just a trash talk. But I definitely try to stay in his ear, and you know, I'm always here for him whenever he needs some advice about something, or if I got a question, you know, I go ask him, and we're going to make it happen.
Listen, defensively, y'all going to be fine. It doesn't matter. Offensively, we know it needs work. There's some pieces that are missing to that puzzle. Obviously, the first thing that needs to be situated, you need to figure out who's going to be quarterback number one, and then build from there, and then go around that. Brother Fanning, what's Brother Fanning's first name?
Harold.
Boy, he is the real deal.
Yeah,
that's one piece. Now, continue to add pieces to the puzzle. So offensively,
I need some receivers. I ain't going to hold you.
That is not the language of a locker room that is already bought in. That is the language of a locker room that is still waiting, still watching, still deciding, and that should scare you if you're a Browns fan. And Unc, give him credit, Unc caught it immediately. He pushed Denzel. He said the offense needs work. He said pieces are missing. He pointed out that the first thing Cleveland needs to do is figure out who the quarterback is and then build around that person. Unc wasn't being negative. Unc was being real. He said it plain. The defense is going to be fine regardless. Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, that unit is elite. Unc literally said you could put Oprah as the defensive coordinator and that defense would still perform. But the offense, that's the question mark. That's the uncertainty. That's where Cleveland either becomes a contender in the AFC North or stays exactly where they've been for the last decade. And the man at the center of that question mark is Shedeur Sanders. Here's what nobody wants to say out loud. Shedeur Sanders came into the NFL with baggage. Not personal baggage, not character baggage, but narrative baggage. His father is Deion Sanders, one of the most polarizing figures in football history. His college career at Colorado was covered like a reality show. His draft process was messy. There were stories about teams passing on him deliberately. There were questions about his coachability, his attitude, his willingness to operate within a system. None of that may be true, but it does not matter if it is true or not. What matters is, does the Cleveland Browns locker room believe in him? And based on what Denzel Ward said on Nightcap, the answer right now is, not yet. I know we're going to have some guys coming back competing. Translation, this is not handed to Shedeur. Nothing is guaranteed, and the veterans on that roster are watching how he handles that. Now here is where it gets even more complicated. Denzel also said Cleveland desperately needs receivers. He went heavy on that, offline, receivers, weapons around the quarterback. He made it clear that personnel around the QB position is critical, and that tells you something important. Denzel is already thinking about what the offense needs to look like to win. He's already building the vision in his head, but notably, Shedeur Sanders is not yet the locked-in centerpiece of that vision. He's a piece that still needs to be proved.
Just keep doing that, man. Denzel, man, congratulations on a great season.
Yes,
Continue success. Stay healthy, and man, hopefully, man, we see you guys in the playoffs real soon, man.
I hope so.
Because all that, it's look. I know the money good. Yeah. I know the adulation being an All-Pro and a Pro Bowl player, but you want some team success.
Yeah,
That's what you play for.
Yeah,
absolutely. What you play for.
No doubt.
Well, congratulations, man. Stay healthy, and we'll see you down the road.
Now, I'm not here to bury Shedeur Sanders. That is not what this video is about, because here is the other side of this. Every great quarterback in NFL history had to earn the locker room. Nobody handed Patrick Mahomes the Chiefs' locker room. Nobody handed Josh Allen the Bills' locker room. They went in, they put in the work, they showed up every single day, and they forced the respect out of their teammates. Shedeur Sanders has the talent to do exactly that. He has a strong arm, he processes quickly, he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks in college football. He understands pressure and performs under it. But Cleveland is going to test him in ways Colorado never could. The AFC North is not the Big 12. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, those defenses will expose every weakness, every hesitation, every moment of uncertainty. And the first time Shedeur has a bad stretch of games, and every young quarterback does have bad stretches, the noise in Cleveland is going to be deafening. That's when we'll find out who Shedeur Sanders really is. Not during the good times, during the hard ones. But let's zoom out for a second, because this conversation between Unc and Denzel Ward is actually about something bigger than one player. It's about a franchise that has been broken for a long time. It's about a fan base that has been patient for years and years and years and is running out of patience. It's about veterans like Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett who have given everything to this organization and still have not smelled a playoff win. Denzel said it himself on Nightcap. He's tired of individual success meaning nothing because the team keeps losing. He's tired of Pro Bowls and All-Pro selections while Cleveland goes home in January every single year. Myles Garrett is arguably the best defensive player in the entire NFL right now. Denzel Ward is a top 3 corner in the league. These men deserve to win. And right now, the only thing standing between Cleveland and relevance is whether that quarterback room figures itself out. Shedeur Sanders has the opportunity of a lifetime, but based on what we heard from Denzel Ward, he hasn't seized it yet. So let me ask you this directly. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is ready to be QB1 in Cleveland in 2026? Do you think he can silence the noise, earn the locker room, and turn this offense into something that finally matches that elite defense? Or do you think Denzel Ward's words were a warning sign that this situation is already more complicated than anyone is admitting? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if this video gave you something to think about, share it, because this is the conversation Browns fans need to be having right now. Not in August, right now. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. New videos dropping every week. I'll see you in the next one.